Hello everybody, how are you? It's Connie with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I am so glad you guys could join me for tonight's YouTube premiere. I've got some really fantastic projects lined up for you. I think you guys are going to really love these. We're going to be using, let me show you, we're going to use the Butterfly Gala, it's upside down, the Butterfly Gala bundle today. Guys, this one is so much fun because we have a matching punch. And that punch will punch out 2 different size butterflies. I've got some great projects. Let me share what we're going to be creating today. So my first card is a Flashcard 2.0 for those of you that are following my flashcard system. This is a simple little flashcard. Very fun. I love how the butterflies, can you see? They literally are fluttering right off the card. Fun one. Let me show you the pop-up card. Again, we've got those fluttering butterflies, but check out the inside. What? Yes, we've got a little pop-up going on the inside. Very simple. We're going to get smart with our layering on this card, so you're going to want to be here to learn about that for you. This is my cookie box. And inside, we've got our yum yum, right? We got to have that. Got to have a little sugar. But this little box was really easy to create. And I don't know if you can see it there. We've kind of got some double butterflies going on. Very, very fun. These are our projects for tonight. It's going to be a great time. But what makes it extra special is when we get to chat during the video. So be sure to get logged into your YouTube account. And then over to the right side, you're going to see a chat box. That's where I'm going to be hanging out tonight. And just so you know, tonight is Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. It is 5 p.m. Central Time. That's what time the premiere is happening, and that is when the chat room is open. So yeah, the chat room's only open while the premiere is going on. So I'll be there for about the next 30, 40 minutes or so. I'll be over there in that room. And we can chat. Tell me what you like, what you want to see more of, what you're up to tonight, what the weather's like. We're going to have some fun. So head over to the chat room. Now, while I'm waiting for everyone to get logged into their account, if you haven't already done so, there's this great big red subscribe button just waiting for you. And if you will subscribe to my channel, YouTube's going to let you know whenever I'm on with a new premiere or when I have a new video popping up. And hey, who doesn't want to be in the loop of a new stamping video, right? So be sure to click that subscribe button. It's free. So, you know, it's just click and you're done. So yeah, be sure to do that. All right. Well, I said we're going to be using the Butterfly Gala bundle. I want to share with you a little bit about the bundle, what's in it, how it all works, because once you understand how it works, I think the projects that I have to share will be a little more fun. Are you ready? All right, we're going to get started. Oh, this bundle. I cannot say enough about how much I am in love with this one. We have some really amazing stamps, 18 stamps in the set. And of course you can see it has the matching butterfly duet punch. Duet because yes, it's going to give us 2 butterflies. So you have 4 different butterflies to choose from. Gotta love that you have options. And I want you to notice that the butterflies are connected, so they are set and ready to be punched together. And then this is what they look like when they've been punched. So that's if you want to leave them plain. Let's say you want to step those butterflies up. You want to add some color. We have several options for that. I'm going to take this butterfly here. I will ink it up. I'm using Mango Melody. And we can stamp it right inside. Now it's photopolymer, so it's very easy to stamp inside the butterfly. See that one gives nice texture. Now another option we have 2 separate bodies for the wings and of the butterfly. You can do them in 2 separate colors. Just for tonight, let me just do them in the Mango Melody. But you see how beautifully that will color in. We have the same option here with the smaller butterfly. We have the body of the butterfly that can go right inside. The same is true for these smaller butterflies. And of course, the little butterfly antennae can go right there. And you can see when you punch out the butterfly, a simple fold And we have a really nice fluttering butterfly. Now, let me show you what happens when I move that over here. So I could have a stamped butterfly and a punched butterfly. When I layer those together, and of course stamp, we can now take that butterfly. And do you see, let me lift this up so you can see, we have great flight with the kind of a nice double butterfly. Sentiments, we love sentiments. The good things in life are better with you. Thank you so very much. You've been on my mind. Hello, beautiful. And a little note. I hope that kind of gives you an idea of all the different options you're going to have with this one little bundle. It really is a fantastic bundle. And hey, we get to save 10% when we buy them together, right? Hey, well, listen, before we start, I do want to just mention this. Don't worry about writing down the measurements and the scoring lines and all of that. Don't mess with it. Tomorrow morning, April 11th at 7 a.m. Central Time over at simplysimplestamping.com. I'm going to have all the details of the 3 projects tonight. They'll all be there. I'm going to have photographs of everything. So if you want to go back and see something again, like I said, if you want to get the measurements, all of that will be at Simply Simple Stamping tomorrow morning. That'll be Thursday, April 11th, 7 a.m. So I'm going to share the first card. So as I said earlier, this is a Flashcard 2.0. It's a very simple one to do. I'm going to show you 2 different versions of the card. I like to have maybe a simpler version. And then for those of you that maybe want to add a little bit of extra pizzazz to your card, you can. I'm going to be doing that throughout the evening because I do like to give you guys options. So are you ready to get started with our Hello Beautiful butterfly card? Okay, let's head over to the stamp table and let's go. All right, we're going to go over the cardstock we need for our Hello Beautiful card. I'm going to be using Whisper White as my card base. I have that cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches. I've scored it at 5 1/2. It's going to fit perfectly in a medium-sized envelope. I'm going to be using Night of Navy. That piece is cut 5 1/2 inches by 2 1/8 inch. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is cut 2 inches by 5 3/8. We're going to do some cutting to that Night of Navy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cutting off 1/2 inch from that piece. So 1/2 by 5 1/2. Now I'm going to cut 3/4 of an inch and we'll cut that down and that's going to leave us our remaining. I wanted to bring in my original because do you notice here on mine, I used the Petal Burst embossing folder. I really liked the look of the extra texture that gives, but you know what? I like to also have versions for my simple stampers. So how about for this one today, we're gonna go ahead and just leave these plain. So let me go ahead and adhere these to my card front. We're going to start with the largest strip, and you see I'm kind of putting that near the edge, but I want a little bit of that white showing. Now I'm going to take the next size and we'll add that to our card. Again, just leaving just a little bit showing. And now our last strip, and we'll add that one right there. Okay, it's time to do our stamping. So I'm going to bring in my Whisper White and a Night of Navy ink pad. This is a photopolymer set, so I am going to use my Stampin' mat underneath me. Let's ink up those butterflies in Night of Navy. And I want you to stamp one down at the bottom of the Whisper White and try to get as close to the edge as we can. We want room to punch, of course, so I don't want to touch the edge. But we are going to be using the remaining for our sentiment, so we don't want to go up too high. All right, I'm going to repeat that here on the opposite side. And now I'm going to come in with Mango Melody, and that's going to be for the inside of my butterfly. And we have another butterfly here that has some solids and then just kind of like a little leafy image that's going to go inside. And this is what we love about photopolymer. We're going to be able to see right where we're stamping, and we're going to stamp this right inside that butterfly. See that? See how that all works? Let's repeat that here on the other side. There we go. Now we can come in with our punch. Gotta love this duet punch because we'll be able to punch both of these out at the same time. Our butterflies are punched. Now let's come back in with our Stampin' Trimmer. And I want you to trim. You can see, I can see right where the little cutting guide is gonna be. We can go just past that so that we can trim off that. And let's flip it around. We'll do it again. I can't give you an exact measurement because of course where everybody stamps their butterflies will be different. But not to worry, we just need a little piece there. All right, let's come back in with our Stampin' Mat and Hello Beautiful. I'm going to stamp Hello Beautiful in the bottom right corner. And now for my butterflies, you notice that there is a little spot there for the body, and we have a stamp for that. This is just a Connie thing. I really prefer to do this after I've punched it versus before, but this is just going to go right inside like that. It's very easy. So let's go ahead and get our large butterflies, and we can get the smaller butterflies too. And there we go. All right, we are ready to put our card together. I'm going to take my Hello Beautiful and I'm going to add 4 Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this card. I think dimensionals make everything extra special. And what I love about dimensionals, they're a very inexpensive add to a card. We'll peel off our backings and let's add that right down here at the bottom right corner. Now it's time to add those butterflies. Several different ways we can do this. I want my butterflies to fly. So I want to avoid getting adhesive on the wings. I only want adhesive here. We can use snail, we can use mini glue dots, or we can use the multi-purpose liquid glue, whichever makes you happy. You know what, this is here. We're gonna go ahead and do this, but we just want adhesive just right here on the body. A lot or a little of the multi-purpose glue goes a long way. We won't go crazy. Now this one I want to add right up in that corner of that cardstock. So I'm going to want to put one right here on this end. Let me show you why I'm going to do that. So I'll put my little bit of adhesive here, just a dot, and we will add this right here to the corner. Like I said, I'll show you why here in just a minute. And then I've got one more butterfly. And again, it's going to be one of the small ones. Again, just a little dot of glue, avoiding those wings. And we'll put this one about right there. All right, now the reason I said we're going to wait is we're going to come back in with that Night of Navy. And let's use the little, the small antennae for our butterfly. And this one is going to go right here. See how we do that? That's why I wanted that right on that edge of that cardstock. Let's go ahead and add that right here to this butterfly as well. Our remaining butterfly is going to go here on the inside. Now this one, because it's on the inside, I actually want this one to go flat. Because on the inside of the card, I'm not, you know, it's not always really easy to pop things. So we'll add a little bit of multi-purpose glue, but remember your snail is going to be fine, or your mini glue dots, but we're going to add that butterfly right there. Once I have that butterfly down, now I'm ready to add my inside sentiment. You've been on my mind. We can add it up here, we can add it down here, wherever it makes you happy. I think I'll just go right here to the right side. Honestly, where the sentiment goes is going to be determined on where your butterfly is. All right, we've got that. Now that our, oops, wait, no, we're not. We need to add the antennae to that large butterfly. Let's come in, stamp that right there. Can't leave that butterfly half dressed. That would not be right. All right, now I'm going to take these butterflies that were on the front because they're dry now. It only takes a few seconds. It's really not that long, but you see, we can give some flight to our butterflies. I wanted to go ahead and bring in the one that was embossed, but you can see clean and simple works. But if you want to add that embossing, I will tell you, if you do the embossing, you want to cut it first and then you'll slide those strips into your embossing folder and run it through and adhere it. So that's really the only thing I did different there, but I wanted you to see both versions. Beautiful card, so easy, so simple. Do the embossing on it, leave it plain, whatever makes you happy, and also change up the colors. I just decided, I don't know, I'm in a night of navy mood lately. It's like my go-to color these days. But that with that mango melody, I thought was just gorgeous. So, all right, you ready to see our next project? It is that butterfly pop-up card. This one is a lot of fun. Now, I want to tell you before we get started, the inside is not difficult, but you do want to take your time when you do it to make sure it goes inside your card correctly. But it's a very fun and unique card to send someone. Let's go ahead and get started with our pop-up card. I have Night of Navy cardstock that is cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4 inches. The inside of the card is in Whisper White, and that is cut 5 inches by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches, so it will be like that. For the front of my card, we're going to use Daffodil Delight and Whisper White. My Daffodil Delight is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. The Whisper White layers right on top, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love to punch out from my layering pieces. So I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy ink pad, and I'm going to bring in a different butterfly. There are several that we're going to be able to work with. So we're going to choose this one here. I'm going to ink it up in Night of Navy, and I'm going to stamp it here on the bottom left corner. And you notice I'm coming up just a little bit. Oh, I've got maybe, not even a 1/2 inch. But we'll do that right here on the right side as well. And now I'm going to flip it around and we'll get another one right there. All right, now let's stamp the inside. And we'll do that in the Mango Melody. I chose Mango Melody just because I wanted a little variation on this Daffodil Delight. Now, this is the same butterfly we used on the first card, but the reason I went ahead and decided to use this one again is I just like the texture of it. We're going to, just as we did before, we're going to stamp inside these 3 butterflies in Mango Melody. All right, we have those done. I can now bring in my punch, and we will give all 3 of our butterflies a quick little punch. Now remember, this is not trash. We are going to use this. We'll add some snail to this portion, and we're going to add it to the front of our Night of Navy cardstock. But not to worry, we're going to cover all that up. You're not going to see it. Just as we did before, we need to add the bodies to all 6 butterflies. All right, I have those done. Let's bring in that Whisper White, and we're going to stamp our sentiment. We're going to make a thank you card. So thank you so very much, and we're going to stamp right smack in the middle. So just kind of eyeball it, center it up, and we're going to go right in the middle of our Whisper White. I've placed snail on the back of that, and I told you we were going to cover it up. We can't leave that there. So we've attached our front. Now, we are going to need 2 large butterflies and 1 small for the front. So I'm going to save these 3 for the inside of my card. Let's go ahead and adhere these, and we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to bring Stampin' Dimensionals in for our large butterflies. Again, I just think the dimension really steps up a card. So right there in the middle, we will add 1 right there. We're going to add 1 right here. Our last one, we'll just add that little bit of multi-purpose glue, or you can use your glue dots, but we'll add 1 more butterfly right there. Again, we just use that little bit because we do want our butterflies to have the flight effect. Let's come in and add the antennae. Don't forget your baby butterfly. All right, we've got that. And just like we mentioned, we can give our butterflies some flight here. What a difference the flight makes, don't you think? Okay, it's time to work on the inside of the pop-up card. So this is obviously the inside. So I want to flip it upside down. We're going to make some tick marks. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to line it up. And I actually did this in advance, but just line it up on an inch mark. Doesn't matter which one, but we want to go an inch to one side and an inch to the other. All right, so just 1 inch from the score line. We're then going to rotate this around. And now we're going to give ourselves a tick mark. Well, look at that. I didn't even do it right when I did it as my example. We're going to put a tick mark at the 2-inch mark right there. You know, we all learn. Okay, so there are my marks on this. So I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to line up those 2 tick marks. And with my bone folder, you can see I just gave it a little score. We'll rotate that around. Let's do it here on the other side. Now, I'm just going to kind of give that a little bit of a bend. Okay, just a little, because now let's flip it to the inside, and this is actually going to pop out. So here on the inside, very gently, we give it a little bend. We'll do the other side. Give it the little bend. Can you see how that's coming together? Now we'll give it a little gentle. Be very gentle as we fold. We want to line up our edges. Trust me, guys, it really, I hope I'm not making it look difficult because it's very simple to do. When it's all folded in place, we'll give it a gentle little crease with a bone folder. There is our pop-up. Now, the reason I didn't do my stamping at the very beginning was because I wanted to make sure I had that pop-up on there before I did my inside sentiment. And that sentiment is, the good things in life are better with you. So we will go ahead and stamp that right here on the right side. And we're now ready to adhere this to the inside of our card. Now, this is where you want to really kind of take your time. So I'm just going to set this in here for just a minute. So you can see it's going to go down into the crease of my card. But we do need to make sure it gets right inside that crease. If it's crooked or goes off a little bit, we're going to have a problem. So we want to make sure we get that nice and straight. I am going to use snail for this one. And actually what I think I'm going to do is start with one side, and I'm just going to put the snail here. All right, I'm going to do that on this side as well. So just along our crease marks. Do you see my upside down Y? That's what we want. All right, I'm going to fold that together. And remember, we want to take our time because we want to make sure we get this centered. Oh, just like that. That's why we don't press anything down until we're good and happy. So making sure that's going to be down in the crease. It's going to all lay right where I want it. Again, we don't press anything down until we're happy. When I'm happy, am I happy? I am. There we go. Okay, I'm going to give that a little press. So that part is down, all right? Now I'm going to come in, I don't know, maybe I just made it a little bit harder. Let's just add adhesive here. Give that a press. Again, I just don't want to get too much adhesive until I'm sure I've got it where I want it. All right, but look at that. See, our card goes together. I said that, I got just a little buckle, but again, that's why we don't press anything down until we're good. All right, there we go. So, all right, we've got our card inside done, ready to add our butterflies. We're going to take our first one, and it's going to sit right on that crease, right there. That means we only want adhesive on these wings, and I'm gonna use my snail, just enough to hold it on there, and I will add that right here. Do you see how that butterfly is going to fly? Isn't that fun? So there's one. Our small one is actually going to attach right here. And you might be going, oh, Connie, that hangs off. Not when it's closed. It won't. So we want adhesive just on one side of the wing. You can use your multi-purpose glue if you're more comfortable with it and then trying to add the snail. But we will add that butterfly. Can you see? Just like that. Whoops, now he's flying a little wonky. He had a hot toddy before he flew. There we go. All right, there's that one. We're going to take our last one, and this one will be flat. So I put adhesive all over him. Let's add our antennae, just like that. And guys, what do you think? That is our pop-up card. Isn't that fun? Very unique fold. I hope that you guys like that one. Like I said, please don't be intimidated by the inside. It's just a matter of taking it nice and slow when you adhere it down, and don't press anything down until you're sure that you have everything right where you want it. But who's not going to love a butterfly popping out, right? Okay, you ready to see our last project of the night? It's the adorable cookie box. I love to create boxes, and I thought this one was just really, really sweet. Like I did in the first video, or the first card in the video, where I showed two different versions. I want you to know on this one, I used the Pretty Label Punch, but don't worry, if you don't have it, you can just cut that into a rectangle and it's gonna work just great. Guys, this project is one of my favorites. We're gonna bring in the Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. Let's go and create our last project of the night. I'll be using Night of Navy cardstock, and this is cut 4 3/4 by 8 3/4. I have just a scrap piece of Whisper White. This is about 2 inches by 3 inches. I've got 2 pieces of Daffodil Delight. This one here is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8 inch square. I've got another piece that is 2 1/8 by 5 1/2 inches. And of course, that gorgeous Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. Guys, this is half a sheet. Remember, they come 6 by 6. These are 3 by 3. So I just cut it in half again to get 2 3 by 3 squares. We're going to bring in our Stampin' Trimmer so we can do some scoring. Let's make sure that cutting blade is way out of our way because we don't want that. We're going to start, I've got the 4 3/4 inch piece here at the top. We're going to score at 3/4 inch on both sides. That will also, if you prefer, you can score it at 3/4 inch and 4 inch, but basically we want 3/4 inch on both sides. Let's rotate it around the 8 3/4 inch side up here at the top. We can score at 3/4 inch and 4 inches. We'll rotate it around and we will do that again. 3/4 inch and 4 inches. Guys, that's really all you need to remember is 3/4 inch and 4 inches, because that is exactly what we did all the way around. To prepare our box, I want you to notice we have 3 squares and 3 squares. We are going to cut along the score line up to the score line, just like so. Let's do that here on the center square and the end. I just want to point out the only thing we are cutting are these squares. Let's repeat that here on the other side. So it should be looking like that. Now, when it comes to boxes, I'm a really big fan of what I call mitering. I like to cut from the inside to the outside, just a little sliver. So it's kind of at a little piece of pizza size, okay, just like that. This is going to help to ensure that my box is not going to have that little extra bulk and it doesn't want to like go together correctly. So we're going to do that to only the squares. The only thing you should be cutting on are these squares. We're going to repeat that little mitering technique to all 6 squares. And just remember, inside to the outside corner. And just a little bit. It's not going to take a lot, just a little sliver. All right, now it's time to make our box. And so I'm going to give all of my score lines a crease with a bone folder. And one of the reasons I really encourage you to crease it with the bone folder is because boxes really do need a really nice hard crease, not that little soft crease. I hope you know what I'm talking about, because a box needs to look like a box and not kind of have those rounded. When you don't use a bone folder, sometimes with a box, it just gets a little kind of, I don't know, just goes a little wonky, you know? All right, so we're gonna give all of these lines our score, our nice crease. I wanna bring in my original. I want you to see, you kind of need a little spot to grab. So we need to cut this little notch out. So I'm going to take a 1-inch circle punch, and we're getting like a little, not even a half circle, about a third of a circle. I'm gonna center that up from side to side and give that a punch just on the one end. I'm now going to add my designer series paper. Remember, it's double-sided, so if you like the smaller check, you can do that, or you can do the larger check. Either way, it's really sweet. And we are going to add that right to the center. That is the front of our box. Now, I'm going to flip it over and I want to add the remaining piece to the lid. This is the lid of our box. So I want to add this piece here. You see it just centers up. Now, this is the inside of the box. This is where the cookie is going to go. And one of the reasons I'm adding this, cookies have butter, all that good stuff in it. That stuff that's not good for us. Yeah, it's got that in there. But I wanted this piece to really kind of fill in. So it is cut a little bit bigger than this one. We've got that set. All right, now we can actually put this box together. Now remember, this side with the Daffodil Delight, that is the box. That's where the cookie is going to go. So we're going to take these 4 tabs and we're going to adhere them right there. All right, can you see it? And this, of course, is going to be our lid. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can work with these tabs. You can use tear and tape. And I wanted to go ahead and show you the different ways that you can do this. I know it's tear and tape, but because these tabs are so small, I am going to use my scissors. So you can add tear and tape to the top, and I'm going to zoom in. I want you to see I'm right along that score line, and then we can add a piece down there at the bottom. So if you choose to use the tear and tape after you put it on, you can remove the backing, and then your little corners, they're just going to come right together like so. So that is the method if you want to use tear and tape, which I do recommend. It is really nice and strong, so it's great for boxes. But if you want to use your multi-purpose adhesive glue, let me show you how you can do it that way. I hope you guys love the phrase less is more when it comes to your paper crafting. We don't want a lot of glue. I'm keeping the tip of the bottle flat with the paper. It does not take a lot. I will add that to the other flap as well. You do want to make sure you're getting right up on that score line, but don't let that glue get too thick. And if it does, just wipe some of it off before you adhere. We don't want it oozing out. And just like we did before, the 2 corners together, give that a press. I'll do it here on this side and give that a press. Now you can see why it was important that we got that glue right to the edge. We want to make sure that those corners are not trying to flap out, right? Okay, you can see where our box is going. Let's go ahead and adhere our final 2 here to the lid. And I'm going to show you one other method. You can actually use your glue dots. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to pick these up, and you will put them just as we did right there on that edge. It's going to take 4 glue dots to secure our box. And I said 4. I think I'm going to put 1 more right there in the center of that. Again, it's a box. I do not want my box to fall apart. So you see how we did that? Let's repeat that here on the other side. It's nice to have options, right? We like to have different options. I want you to be able to use the product that you have. All right, bring this one around. Secure it. Glue dots are also a very, very strong adhesive. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of using snail on boxes. It's a great adhesive when you are adhering something that is totally flat, but when gravity's working against you, you really do want to kind of go that extra mile and make sure you have a really good, secure adhesive. All right, here is our little pizza style box. Just tuck that in. Look at that. Looking so cute. Are you ready to decorate it? Let's decorate it. I will come in with that Night of Navy ink pen. Stamp our sentiment. The good things in life are better with you. We're going to go right in the middle. I'm going to use my pretty label punch. We have a lot of different punches, different label punches, framelits, whichever one makes you happy. But I just thought the pretty label just looked really pretty with this one. We'll give this a punch. Now, if you are a beginner stamper, maybe you don't have punches yet, not to worry. We can just cut a little rectangle. Guys, this is cut 2 inches by 1.5 inches. So either one of these are going to work great, all right? So don't stress if you don't have a punch. I just sometimes like to give you the option of stepping it up. Now to stamp our butterflies, I'm going to use another one of the butterfly options. Do you remember how we stamped these a little while ago? And we stamped one down here at the bottom and we flipped it around and we did it again. Yeah, we're gonna do that again. And now with our Mango Melody, this time we are going to use the two solid images. Now check out what we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna start with the wings. I'm going to ink it up. I will stamp it right here at the top, just center it up. We give that a stamp. I'm now going to flip it around. I'm not going to re-ink, and I'm going to stamp it again. Do you see how we get that lighter version? Okay, now let's take the bottom part of the wings and we're gonna reverse that. See, there's my lighter one. Now we'll come in full strength at the bottom of that one. Without re-inking, and we stamp there. Guess what? We have that same option here with the smaller butterflies. We stamp it once, we don't re-ink, we do the other side, ink the bottom, full strength, don't re-ink, do the other side. Aren't they pretty? All right, you know what we're gonna do next. You guessed it, we're gonna punch. And just like you've seen me do before, I stamped the bodies there in the Night of Navy ink. All right, let's bring our box in. We're going to adhere our sentiment. Again, whichever adhesive you've been using is going to be perfect. Glue, we're going to add this right in the center. If you were doing the rectangle instead of the punch, same thing. Just go right there in the center of the box. Now, we're going to take one of our butterflies. We're going to add our favorite adhesive right down the middle. We'll adhere that down. Let's do the same thing with a smaller butterfly. Little adhesive, and she can go right there. I now want to come in with the antenna. We can add that here and one there. Now we're going to have some fun. Let's take our second butterfly, the large one, adding our multi-purpose glue there. We're going to go right on top. Just line those up. Same here. Remember, we're just going down that center. We're not adhering these everything together, and you'll see why here in just 1 second. So let me add this butterfly right on top. We're going to let that dry for just a moment. Let me show you how I did my cookie. I think you might recognize these. These are your standard 3-inch sugar cookies. They're available at most of your little neighborhood bakeries, your little grocery store bakeries, and you can get a lot of different colors this time of year too. I just wrapped it in some saran wrap. That's going to go right in here. Now, if you don't wrap it, the problem you're going to run into is this is going to be kind of an oily mess because there's butter there in the cookie. So I do prefer to wrap it up, and that just goes inside. Now my butterflies are dry. Let me show you. We're going to take that top layer butterfly and give it a fold. And do you see, isn't that fun? We'll do the same thing down here. Oh my goodness, just adorable to have those 2 layers. Now, I do love this 2-layer technique. If you were to stamp this, you could actually do this on the other cards as well to have the double layer. I just think it really adds that extra nice touch. If you've got a friend, a coworker, someone you just want to send a little something to, guys, I think this project is perfect. It's just so sweet. And it's a step up from a card, right? It's just a little extra. And I will tell you, I had 11 of those cookies left over. So yeah, that's what I had with my coffee while I was working tonight. So yeah, really fun project. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Now remember, if you need to get the measurements or the scoring lines, or you want to see the photos of tonight's project, tomorrow morning, Thursday, April 11th, 7 a.m. Central Time, that is when the post will go up. And you can find that at simplysimplestamping.com. Everything I used tonight, the supply list for each project will be there. So I've made it very easy for you to recreate. And if you don't have some of the products that you might need to create the projects, there is a picture. Just click a pic and you can order the items that you need. It's super easy, guys. I love to make it easy. Click the pic. You'll go right to my online store. You can order what you need and we will have that delivered right to your home. So easy. Okay, so you can head over there, simplysimplestamping.com. tomorrow for all of the details about the projects. Who's ready for the next premiere? I hope you are. I will be back on April 24th, 2019 with a new set of projects for you and a new opportunity for us to get together and be right here and chat. And we'll be back on our normal time, 7 p.m. Central Time. I think I told you guys last time I am in a play at my local community theater. So I had to kind of adjust my time, but the show will be over by then. We're knee deep in performances right now, which is really fun. We just performed all last weekend. We'll perform again this weekend. It's going good. I'm getting laughs, so that's good. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I want to just thank you guys for giving me that opportunity to just make a couple changes so I could go do something I love to do. I absolutely adore doing community theater, so it's been a lot of fun. All right, I am going to close for now. Remember, that great big red subscribe button is a free button. Click it, and YouTube will let you know when I'm back with a new video. I do 3 videos a week, so there's always lots of fun stamping inspiration for you. You gotta love YouTube, right? I mean, they made it so easy. Click a button and they're gonna let you know whenever I'm back with a new video. So yeah, be sure to click that little red subscribe button so that you can get notifications from YouTube. Hey, if you want more stamping inspiration, of course, there's my channel here, but you can also go over to simplysimplestamping.com. I've been blogging for, gosh, I think 11, 12 years now. There's so much over there for you. Lots of great ideas, lots of photos. I give you measurements, everything that you need for a lot of different cards. So be sure to check me out over at simplysimplestamping.com. Thank you so much for chatting with me tonight. Such a good time. I love having that opportunity to chat with you guys at these premieres. One of the highlights of my week, let me tell you. I love you guys. All right, have a great night. We'll see you over at Simply Simple Stamping and, of course, right here on YouTube. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.